the company. Fox and Friends host Clayton Moore's Vincent Vernuccio from the Competitive Enterprise Institute and small business extraordinaire Amelia Antonetti. And Robert Gray is going to be at the New York Stock Exchange watching the markets for us today. He's got some nice little guests down there. And getting back, though, right now to the Black Friday, as you've watched all the live shots of videos of people cramming into stores, remember, this Black Friday, in my mind, is a stark reminder why there will always be poor people and there will always be rich people. And, guys, what I'm talking about is we talk about economics. I always say economics in this country is trickle up. No matter what people say, poor people rush out there at midnight. People who barely pay their rent, waiting at a Walmart or a Target at midnight to give away their money. I mean, it's not politically correct to say that, but isn't that the truth? And
living on credit, too. I mean, a lot of people in massive credit card debt across this country running up bills that they can't afford to pay. I mean, I think when I was first out of college running up credit card bills, I think I was paying for Chinese food for like 8 years before I still on my credit card that I couldn't afford. But I think that's probably part of the process.
Well, listen, I mean, the credit problem, I mean, it's a big problem there, but it is stores like Walmart that allow the people that don't have the money to afford the luxury items that used to be only available for the rich. So, you know, you may say it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing that Walmart allows, you know, somebody that's not making a six-figure income to have a 55-inch.
No, I'm not opining on whether it's good or bad for Walmart. What I'm trying to say, though, is that we have a country where people say, wow, you know what, if it wasn't for Bush, I'd be okay. If it wasn't for those Wall Street crooks, I would be okay. When, in fact, it's the person in the mirror who dictates where you are economically, don't you think
Overspending.
So?
I mean, that is typically overspending, and getting caught up in the buzz. And what they don't understand is a lot of it is a marketing ploy. I mean, again, marketing is marketing. They're pulling you into the store, but the reality is, like we're talking, they had 2 available, right? But now that you're in the store and you've been up all day, you're going, well, I might as well do my Christmas shopping while I'm here, and you're going to overspend when you didn't have it in the budget.
But to Charles' point, can't you, as a family, say, you know what, we can't afford it this year. We simply can't do it this year. But the problem is you say that, and no one ever buys it.
Well, that's because we're in an entitlement society, right? We don't know how to have those hard conversations. Nobody wants to have, our freaking government doesn't want to have the hard conversations. You want Americans to have those conversations with your kids to go, look, this year you get one thing. That's how we were raised. We got one thing. My kids, find the one thing that you want to have, not swarms of stuff underneath the Christmas tree.
I got to tell you, I find it amazing. You know, you go into the projects. I live in a project, you live in a project. And if you have on $200 sneakers, I have to feel bad. I mean, it's stupid that we're pressuring each other to have that neither one of us can really afford.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, what it comes down to is, I mean, it's the example by the government. I mean, hey, they can afford anything. They just can keep borrowing. And as we saw, they can just start printing money. And what they do is they jeopardize us in the world stage. Now you have Russia and you have China saying, hey, we're not going to use the dollar anymore.
Right.
And it's just coming down from the government. And it's, hey, we can just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. We can afford anything we want. And no one has the ability to just say,
that's a great point.
No.
If no one understands this, the government should understand where this is taking us. And to the point you made earlier about us being able to buy these great things from Walmart, it is a double-edged sword, though, because as our dollar loses value, that means realistically we're poorer on the world stage.
Right, and you can't live beyond your means. I mean, we say this over time. The #1 rule of money is not to live beyond what you can afford.
Don't companies, though, have a responsibility, Charles? Because it seems to me as if Walmart's asking you to get this credit card when you're checking out every time, or Target's asking you to sign up and save 10% off of your purchase so you can go further into debt with these credit cards. They have tables set up there to encourage people who probably are going to live off credit and not actually be able to afford it.
Let me hand that question off to Amelia. She runs several businesses. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you're not making first aid kits, right? I mean, these aren't things that people must have. So how bad?
I think you must have it.
Right, sure.
I think you have to have it.
How bad do you feel when you think that occasionally maybe someone's buying your stuff and they can't really afford it?
Well, not guilty. I believe that we provide better services. I believe we brought better products. I think it's up to the consumer to educate them, saying which one of that is what they need for this time. But I don't think we need the abundance, meaning you need one good coat for winter. You don't need 12 coats for winter to be able to have a fashion item. You need one good pair of boots. You need, I mean, it does come down to the responsibility for the consumer to say, what can your family afford? And then where's the right place to shop?
Did you just say one pair of shoes? Tell that to my wife, please.
Boots. I was very specific about boots. One pair of boots.
One pair of boots, not shoes. Thanks a lot, guys. Personal accountability, that's the theme. Okay.